What, how do you kind of see this working in your field?
Yeah, I mean, I think these things all 100% are important, that they are related, and that, to John's point, you've got to inject and think about reputation when you're thinking about SEO and search strategy, because obviously, like we've talked about, the way people are finding these folks and their search results are different than they used to be. But once they find what they're looking for, once they find your company, once they find you, what is it that is being said about you? It's not enough to just be found. You have to make sure that the story that's being told once you are found is correct and is positive and is framed in a way that's going to be protecting and promoting your brand and your personal identity and your company. So I think that's where PR and the reputational work on the comms and media front really comes in with that search element, where those things converge. Because, for example, you can search on Google, take a Google search, look for something. But if the first thing that pops up is a negative story, or is something that's like, yikes, that happened years ago, why is that still in the top search results?
Mm-hmm.
We thought that we left that in the past. Or, a legal issue, or just something that maybe you said off the cuff that's now gone viral. All of those things are related to your reputation. And so where PR really comes into this play, into search, and into the results, it's making sure that you've got the right story out there all the time.
Sure.
So that you constantly have these positive narratives and stories feeding into that algorithms, that when the search results are pulling all of this stuff in about you, that more positive framing, those narratives that are compelling and that are going to drive the right attention, appear higher, and people then learn about who you are, learn about your company
Mm-hmm.
in a way that is, positive, that you want them to learn about it, rather than stuff that's negative and that, can live potentially forever online. And so you really want to be thoughtful about that from your PR perspective. It's important that you're crafting communication strategies that are going to tell the right story. It's also interesting thinking about search, and to Johnny's point earlier about AI and the way that search is happening and the types of things that are getting picked up. Because when you think about things like predictive analytics, and when you start to search for something, the stuff that's being suggested, it tells you a lot about what your audience is looking for and the types of things that they're interested in. And so if you can then foresee and look at those predictive analytics and say, oh, okay, this is the type of stuff that's being suggested when people are searching, or that they're automatically looking for, you can then craft your comm strategy, you can craft your PR narrative to answer those questions. So if someone's looking, whatever, best Korean, skincare mask that I can use overnight, and I'm a company who has that, then I can start to craft content that is front-footed in answering those questions and going out there and utilizing PR approaches to talk with reporters or journalists that answer the questions that are coming up in search. So that's where these types of things really feed into one another, and you have to proactively inject that reputation. Like John also mentioned, it's not enough to be reactive with your press. You really have to be front-footed here and learning from search and learning from TikTok and SEO in order to inform that PR strategy and approach.
Yep. I think search, to put it simply, it's the most important channel of anything. It is the glue, I say, that search is where everything converges. Anytime you're building awareness through, a great PR article you had published, or whether it's through a social media ad, or whether it's through a viral moment you had on an influencer campaign or an event, people discover your brand in many different ways. And then the first thing they do is go to search to find out more and get that third-party validation. So the search engine is literally where you control the two most important aspects of a business. It's revenue and it's reputation, right? So that's where like PR and commerce, and those are the two main goals for every business. So if you don't have that strong search play, but you're great at building awareness, if you have a ton of negative press on that first page, or your competitors are ranking ahead of you for your branded terms or your non-branded keywords, you're going to get drowned out and lose market share to all your competitors. So it's literally the glue. And there's paid search, there's organic search, there's all the things that feed into search you need to be focused on. So it's very important to have the routine